Alright, Shalom. This is Brother Yashamallah coming back at you with the brother.
Mashaba.
Coming back at you with some more edification. But the first thing we want to do is give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakudash.
Second thing we want to do is give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to you brothers that are pushing it forward to say with charity. You know, so we basically just coming at you with this video of basically just get on your shit because, you know, things are getting tighter, man. You know, we not allowing all the laziness, all the bullshit that's going on, man. You know, people don't want to, you know, people go months without doing videos, or people go to camp and they be all good at camp and, you know, they not reading at home, they not studying, and they just fucking off, man. So, you know, you gotta just, you know, and I'm gonna start off with this Revelations 3:16. So because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out my mouth. Right, man. So, you know, if you lukewarm in this truth, you know, what's the word? You
If you what?
basically just slacking, man. You know,
You're acting like a man of the Lord with actual. Well, you're saying you're a man of the Lord with the behavior of a 2/3. That's what being lukewarm is.
You know. Of course, some people slip up sometimes, but you know, if you constantly being talked to about the same things, and you constantly being lazy, you constantly, like, at that point, it's just being wicked, man. You know. You got something?
Yeah, and another point is, you know, as we would say, you know, we all gonna slip up. So it's not a, you know, yes, we all try our best to what's the word? You know, cut off BS. Yes, we want to try our best to do that, but you know, as we in this flesh, you know, we gotta realize that, you know, that's not really possible. All right, you know, because we are in the flesh. So the thing is, try to minimize, you know, BS. You know, and when BS occurs, you know, get on it. All right, you know, examine yourself. All right, and don't continue to let the BS happen or find excuses for it. All right, but this is Sirach chapter 19 and verse 1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. So yeah, man. All right, so in this truth, we can't be we cannot be as, you know, scripture say, you know, lukewarm on things, because that'll just chip away at your spirit more and more until you just crumble. All right, you know, you could just take a bucket of water from like a big pool. You know, the bucket ain't gonna do much, but as you keep on doing it and doing it, eventually that pool is going to be empty. And that's basically the analogy, you know, of you know what it is to just let, you know, you slip up over and over, man. All right. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 32 and verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's another thing, man. All right, we cannot be, you know, making excuses. All right, when we getting God on, or we know we did something wrong in the truth, we gotta accept and be like, okay, Khan Salaki. All right, I'll try my best in my spirit to not let that happen again. Not, oh well, I did that because it is, or that because it is. You know, trying to justify yourselves. And yeah, it is. You know, sometimes it may be a case where, you know, the situation is not that, but you know, sometimes we just gotta take the rebuke. Anyways, man. All right, you know, because it may be something that the Lord is trying to tell you. It's always something the Lord is trying to tell you. All right. let me see. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Mashiach. Hold on. Salakia. I lost it. I clicked on something. Hold on. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobate. So yeah. All right, another huge thing in this truth is to examine yourself. Yes, as I said, we are all going to mess up on things. All right, we are going to make accidents, whether it's your first month being in the truth or your 10th year. All right, we all gonna make mishaps, and mistakes. But the key is to examine yourself and be like, oh, well, damn, I did mess up, or I have been tweaking. All right, and just improve upon that, because that's a big step to cutting out BS. Recognize when you do BS, because trust me, we in the flesh, we are gonna do it. All right, like it or not, spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, so when that BS does happen, you gotta examine yourself. Like, dang, I was tweaking. I did slip up, or I said something I shouldn't, have said, or etc. Examine yourself and keep your flesh in subjection. All right, which leads me into my next precept. What was this? This is 1 Corinthians 9. I'm gonna start at verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that serveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. All right, and I'm gonna give another analogy. All right, so like how every good athlete or how anybody is good at the profession, they didn't get that way by making their own excuses for the things that they should have done. They didn't get there by missing out on their practices, by not doing their drills, whatever. They got there by realizing their mistakes, realizing that they got to get better, and go into whatever workouts or whatever thing, which is the same thing that is in this truth, but on the spiritual spectrum. Okay, maybe that you realize you ain't reading as much as you supposed to, so now you improve upon that, and at least get 5-10 chapters in a day, or you need to be more in the spirit or more around brothers, charity, whatever, and you just improve upon that. You have something to say?
I can precept. This is 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to shew thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Right, man? So we're supposed to be studying, like the brother said earlier. Salaki, I just lost it. Examine yourself, and we're supposed to, always be rightly divided in this word of truth, man. We got to be ready to give a man an answer, man. So if you being lazy, you're not reading, you procrastinating it, putting it off, and it never happens, that's going to become a consistent basis. And what the scripture brother read earlier, you'll fall little by little, man. That's usually what happens, man. People stop reading, they stop, and the Lord takes his spirit away from them, man. We supposed to be on 100% overdrive for the Lord at all times. Like, people be thinking the Lord owe them salvation, man. We working to get the salvation from him, man. He don't owe us this. The Lord could have killed us off a finger. Yet you complaining because you gotta do the little things he requires of us to do. Like,
Time, brother. And another thing, as brother said, yes, try our best for the truth. Okay, but It's always a balance. Try your best. Okay, but remember when you mess up, just get back up. All right, scripture say, what a right
I was gonna get there earlier too.
in Proverbs,
Yeah.
righteous man falls 7 times and get back up, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So, yeah, I mean you can still get it, but yeah, man. But let me continue in this Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So yeah, man, you know how the scriptures say, he who is profitable unto others, but not himself. All right, we can't be out here, preaching and screaming, do this, do that. You're supposed to, return, unto the righteous ways, but you out here, doing the same BS that you preaching against, man. All right, if you realize, oh, I need to, start doing this less. All right, so I can focus on the truth more. Maybe, not drink as much, or go out and party as much, or you know, no, it's a plethora of things that can draw us away from the truth. Okay, but we got to learn how to control those things, as the scripture said. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Okay, I'm gonna get that in the blue letter actually, real quick.
I'm just let you make that point before you even get this because I got two.
This is 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. I'm gonna read it again and then go into the definition. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So let's see what that word subjection means. In the Greek is doulagogio, I think, and meaning to lead away into slavery, claim as one slave, to make a slave, and to treat as a slave, i.e., with severity, subject to stern and rigid discipline. So yeah, man. All right, we got to be very hard on ourselves, man. All right, what's that basketball player? Kobe.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't be. He wouldn't have made it to the point where he was at the peak of his career if he didn't work as much as he would. All right, there's a whole phrase, made about him. All right, which is the Mamba mentality. We gotta have a Mamba mentality when it comes to this truth. All right, which is to be disciplined. All right. You said you had a point.
Yeah, I was just going back to that falling and getting back up, because a lot of men be letting their sins weigh them down, and that's how they fall. So this is Proverbs 24 and 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. And another one is Sirach 21 and 7. An eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth where he slippeth. Right, man? So you gotta examine yourself, know where you slipped at, and correct it, man. Like the brother was saying, these, in jujitsu, boxing, any martial arts fighting style, when you lose one time, you'll never lose like that again, man. Because you're gonna notice where you slipped up at, and you're gonna prevent that from happening again. And that's what you gotta.
If you care.
Right, if you care. So in this truth, you gotta observe what went wrong, observe what you did, and fix it, man. Don't dwell on it for too long to where it's like, oh, damn, and then now it's a pattern,
Kind
of. You got anything else?
Yes. This last precept. Wisdom Solomon 6 and verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh. Therefore, the desire of wisdom brings it to a kingdom. So yeah, man. All right. As verse 17 said, the desire of discipline, and that her was referring to wisdom. Okay, so we gotta have a discipline, man. To what? Minimize the BS. Okay. As what the this lesson is about, minimizing BS. Okay. And that trying to minimize that incorruption will only get you growing in this truth. All right, which leads to that incorruption. All right, and as verse 19 said, and incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh. So yeah, man, but that was my point.
God, man. So, shit, man. So, give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakodash.
Second thing, salutation to you brothers that are pushing this word with truth and saying and with charity. Shalom.
All I can. Shalom. Stay faithful.